meeting to order. It is the vision of the Jacksonville-North-Pulaski School District to be the model district where every learner is valued and empowered to become successful, contributing members of society. It's our mission to foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that create multiple pathways for success. Mr. Moore, would you please call the roll?
Okay, Colonel Smith, not here. Daniel Gray.
Here.
Ava Coleman.
Here.
Jim Moore, present. Ron McDaniel. Present. Dina Tony.
Here.
Lauren Martin.
Here.
Laura Walker.
Here.
Here for the Colonel.
All right. Y'all will join me as we stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First item we've got, I believe, is special presentations for the APTG rooms.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So for the video, I'll introduce myself. Chisa Williams, Director of Communications and Marketing for the Jacksonville-North-Pulaski School District. I am joined tonight by Alex Blake. She works for APTG. So she and I are going to talk to you tonight about how we can streamline communication in our district. But first, I wanted to give you some backstory. So our district website, it's powered by APTG, which is a Little Rock-based company. The district currently spends $19,700 a year for our district website, the app that goes with it, and ThrillShare. So that's the mass communication system. That's how we are able to send phone calls, emails, and texts to every parent in the district. So that $19,700 comes out of our capital outlay technology funds. Well, a few years ago, APTG introduced a new feature called Rooms. It's about 2 or 3 years old. Yes, but it's picking up steam. So, and that's what we want to talk to you tonight about is Rooms and how we can streamline communication. So right now, our teachers, they use several different methods to communicate with parents. Elementary teachers have Class Dojo. Pre-K has used Remind. Some of our secondary teachers have used Google Classroom, regular email, and then we also have athletic apps and band apps. And so Rooms would actually remove all of those apps and replace it with one app so that we can better communicate with our families. So there are some benefits to using Rooms. The obvious I just mentioned, parents only need one app to stay connected with the school district. Also, it protects teacher privacy, which is pretty big, and it keeps a record of all of the communication. So anytime a teacher emails a parent, or vice versa, the parent emails the teacher, there's a record of that conversation, so that if we need to pull it up in the future, we have it. Also, it has built-in translation, which that's the same as ThrillShare. Whenever we send out communication through ThrillShare, it automatically translates. And then lastly, administrators can see communication activity and ensure that interactions remain professional and appropriate. Well, I got ahead of myself. So, the only challenge that I foresee with Rooms is just getting everybody on board. We have so many teachers that are used to using Class Dojo, and so we really need a buy-in from everyone, not only licensed staff, but classified as well. And so that's the only challenge I foresee. But we will, if approved tonight, we will offer several training sessions. This is how we're going to address the challenges. At the end of this month, our APTG representatives, we're going to pick out lead teachers from each of our 8 schools. We're going to teach them how to use the system, and then they're going to help train others and give us feedback. In May, we'll do a soft launch with the athletic department, and then in August is when we can really train our licensed and classified staff. And Alex is going to talk a little bit more about the training.
So great to meet everybody. I'm Alex. I'm with Apogee. So a little bit about that training is that you guys will get unlimited training and support, and it won't be like we don't like trainees being trainers. We like to hold your hand the entire implementation and the entire way. And once, of course, we have everybody that's starting with you guys in the fall. If you guys have new teachers, new subs, whomever it may be, we're not going to make you go in and train them by yourselves. We'll do that training for you, so it's truly unlimited.
Okay, the price. So it costs $3.77 per scholar, and currently we have roughly about 4,200 scholars. There's a one-time setup fee of $6,000 because we'll have to integrate eSchool and eFinance. So if this deal is signed in the month of April, our first year cost is $21,898.09. The annual cost after year one, once that setup fee is dropped, it's $15,898.09, and we plan to pay for that using Title I parent engagement funds. And that is the end of our presentation. Do you have any questions?
Questions?
What are those Title I funds being used for now?
What are those Title I funds being used for currently?
Those exact funds, your Title I budget is around $2 million. So a host of money is spent for parent engagement. Some of that money is spent by individual
Literacy
buildings,
interventions,
the district
mathematics intervention,
on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, so
training.
You said the current cost was $19,000. Did I hear you say that?
Yes, so for our district website, the app and Thrillshare, we're paying them $19,700 a year, but that's paid out of capital outlay and technology funds. So this amount, if we get rooms, will come out of Title I.
And that's separate. It'll be in addition
Separate.
to the.
In addition to the 19.7. So next year we'll pay 19.7 for the district website, and then the 21 for this rooms feature.
Are we paying anything for Dojo and all those other, or are the teachers handling that themselves, or?
The teachers generally will handle it themselves. We do have Class Dojo, and it's free there's a paid version, but most teachers just use the free version for Class Dojo. But yeah, so we're trying to simplify the process, but we just really feel like if we want consistent communication, then we really need to get this app and everyone, join in and use it.
And the rooms feature has features just like Class Dojo, because that's one of the things that we asked about. If our elementary teachers were accustomed, as well as our parents, accustomed to using Class Dojo, how much of an adjustment would this be? And so they would see that it's actually pretty much like Class Dojo, or could be used like Class Dojo. The issue with Class Dojo is if that teacher leaves or transfers, we lose all access to that communication, and we actually, as a district, cannot see that communication. We would be able to see all this communication. Our coaches would be able to, and our sponsors would use this for their athletic or their groups, clubs, and we would be able to monitor those conversations as well.
Right, it's archived. So that's great. We can always pull a conversation between anyone, between staff member, from staff member to staff member, or from teacher to parent. So.
And everything is going to be moderated through AI. So if someone is going to send something inappropriate, add me on Snapchat, anything like that, it's going to send that into like a report function where you guys get to go in, have all of those archives, see if it's actually something that needs to be taken to the next step, and so your teachers can remain teaching there.
You said this was relatively new, the app. Is there any other school districts that are utilizing the app along with the website?
Yeah, so we've got about 5,300 clients. In Arkansas, we've got about 250 districts here, and then for rooms, probably about 2,400 school districts.
questions?
And I did want to mention, sorry, I didn't really want to make this a mandate. I just want to strongly encourage all of our employees to use it. And I didn't want to do a mandate because if one day a teacher needs to communicate with a parent and they don't know how to use rooms because they missed a training, it's more important that they communicate in the way that they feel comfortable with, which if that's Class Dojo, then, you know, so be it.
And just for clarification, it's gonna be one app that's gonna be integrated into the app that they already use for the school district?
That's
Okay.
correct. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second to move forward with the Rooms app and Apogee. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. that
Thank
passes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much, appreciate it. Okay, next item I've got is a special presentation from athletics. Dr.
Yes,
Owen.
we can go with athletics.
Good evening. I just wanted to share with you some numbers. The number that stands out to me when I, first day I walked in here, our participation numbers was something that Dr. Owen had spoken about, trying to get more kids involved in activities in our school and hopefully try to get them focused on sport of some sort along with academics. And we've grown that number tremendously. I'm excited about the way that number has grown. And when we first started, we were 29%, and the other day I ran the numbers, and we are at 45% of our school population is involved in our sporting program. The only one that I didn't get a number on was e-sport, and so we do have about 12 students. When I went and watched them participate this year in esports, it's a different environment for me. Wasn't used to it. Kids playing on a PlayStation and competing with other schools, but the kids we got that were involved are pretty good at it. And we had one group that qualified one more round, and they'd been able to go to Hot Springs and participate in the championship round. So one of our coaches, Coach Webb, is taking that on, and they've done an outstanding job. But just wanted to share a few numbers with you as well, besides participation numbers. Our football program has jumped up to over 80 athletes participating in football from 60. And then a few people that we're going to celebrate here, I kind of highlighted our basketball program because we just completed that, and we had an all-state basketball player that was a sophomore, which I thought was pretty exciting news. I wanted to share that with you. His name is Elijah Span, and he was the only sophomore in our conference that qualified for state. I want to kind of highlight our wrestling program this year. I've got two student athletes that I'm going to introduce to you, and I'm going to let Coach Healy introduce them to you as well, but they're in this picture here. And then also we've added a few signs at our football stadium. If you haven't noticed, we're going to try to celebrate our 1976 state championship team this year, one of our football games. And when we get our pavilion completed, host that outing, call it the Night of Champions, and celebrate those folks. It's long overdue. And we also put the sign up with Dan Hampton and Clint McDonald. But I'm going to turn it over to Coach Healy, and this is a program we voted on 3 years ago that we had zero participation in. Coach Healy, being a former wrestling person in college, has really done a great job in that program, getting kids involved, and I wanted him to share and speak for himself on the advancement of our program, what all they've done. Coach Healy?
Hey, good evening, y'all. So first off, I just want to say thank y'all for supporting the program, for clearing it. Thank you to Mr. Hickinbotham for all the support he's done. Really, wrestling is it's a really accessible sport. It doesn't cost the kids a lot of money. The biggest deal is the mats, right? And so with y'all's support and his support, we were able to get those 3 years ago and start the program. Again, very accessible, and it's a really good sport for kids who maybe don't have other places to fit in. But it definitely teaches the discipline. It teaches some unique things that maybe some other sports can't teach, or it's a good supplement to other sports. And so I'm just really thankful that we were able to do that. But we had a great season this year, and it's only a 3-year-old program, so we had several make it to state, 4 boys and 1 girl. And I'll go ahead and introduce 2 of those 5 that made it to state. So one is Layla Adamako. She placed 2nd, which is our highest ever placer, or our first placer technically, in school history. So state runner-up, and she's been to state every single year. She's a junior this year, so this is her 3rd year. And then Peyton Jones, you'll meet him after Layla goes, and he placed 4th this year. Again, one of the first 2 boys state placers in school history. So a history-making year, but I'll let Layla and Peyton speak a little bit about their experience this year.
I'm Layla, and I've been wrestling for 3 years. The first 2 years, I didn't make it to state. I mean, I did make it to state. I didn't place. My 3rd year, I did. I look kind of sad for it because I wanted to participate. It's okay.
Next year.
Yeah. And yeah, I really like wrestling. I guess Coach Julie's okay. And yeah, it's really fun. And yeah, thanks for supporting it. Yeah.
My name is Peyton Jones. I was a South Regional runner-up and 4th at state, and nothing has taught me more persistence and dedication than this sport. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you for supporting the program.
All right, I have one more picture. There's Elijah Stan in the middle. He's our sophomore that made All-State. And then 2 of our football guys that made All-State, and we're hoping, as you're aware, our football program had some success last year, so we're hoping for bigger things this year in football as well. But we appreciate, from an athletic standpoint, all you do for us, supporting the creativeness that we try to create within our program. And so I just want to say thank you again.
All right, board members, we have a special treat that's not on the agenda. I'm going to ask our Jacksonville High School drama team to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kylie Jones. I am the theater director at Jacksonville High School. Thank you for having us here today. I am here this evening to present 2 very special individuals from our production of Disney's The Little Mermaid. May I present to you Ariel and Sebastian?
But I have to say that humans aren't as bad as I once thought, but I still think life under the sea is better than anything we got up here. But like the lady said, we have performances at the end of April, and we hope that all of you can attend. We have great music numbers, thanks to yours truly, come on. And great technical elements, like the costumes you see right here. Obviously right there too. We have so much fun at rehearsals, and we like to bring the fun to you through our performances. Ariel, take it away.
Hello, everyone. We are so excited to put on a magical story for our community. Our show features a cast and crew of over 70 talented scholars and 8 tiny titans from our elementary school. We hope you become part of our world and come see the production of The Little Mermaid. Thank you.
Yeah.
you all so much for what you do to support our young theater artists. We hope that you come see our show. Thank you.
All right, our last special presentation, I believe, Principal Mims. Oh, Principal Mims.
We have a special presentation tonight from our HOSA group, and so I'm going to turn it to them because all these acronyms, I'm going to let them explain what it is. And Ms. Mitchell took the lead on this, and so I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Mitchell and Ms. Jones.
Good evening, school board. It's nice to be here tonight. I'm Ms. Mitchell, Jennifer Mitchell. I'm one of the medical teachers in the medical academy at the high school. This is Ms. Jones. She is also my co-teacher and co-sponsor for HOSA. So what is HOSA? In comparison, when you were in high school, we had like FBLA for the business department. We had FFA for Agri, FHA for home ec, which is now FACS. But we have our own medical organization, and that is called HOSA, and it stands for Health Occupations Students of America. And so we brought it to the high school this year for the first time. Out of all of our students, I think we had around 50 to 60 that enrolled in HOSA. The cool thing about HOSA is that in the springtime, everything that the students have learned throughout the school year, they get to go compete on a state level with area kids across the state that also participate in HOSA. So this year I had 17 very brave souls decide that they would tread waters unknown to Jacksonville High School, and they participated at the state competition in Hot Springs this past February. We had seven of those 17 that actually made it to the second round of events, which is huge. They were able to take a test, they made the top half, and then they got to go on to the second event, which was to demonstrate hands-on skills that they have actually learned in the medical academy this past year. And so out of those 7, we had one student that actually placed at state competition, and that was Raleigh Livingston. So she placed second at Patient Care Tech, which is a big program that our seniors go through here that teaches them a little bit of nursing and a little bit of phlebotomy. Great entry-level job to go have. Riley was, because she placed second, Allied Health is sponsoring her to take her PCT test to get certified in May. At the 1st of May. So she gets to take that test quickly, and hopefully she'll pass and get that on. So I appreciate your support in our HOSA program for, I guess, giving us the faith to start it this year. And I hope to have more members join next year and hopefully more winners to present to you next year at the school board meeting. Riley, would you like to say something?
Hello, you all. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Ms. Jones and Ms. Mitchell have they're like Spartan trainers, so I obviously had to do my best, and I'm just really grateful that I was able to win something. I get to go to Indianapolis, and it's just like an amazing opportunity. So thank you all for supporting them, and thank you for supporting me.
So as Riley was saying, she now has the opportunity, because she placed in the top 3 for Patient Care Tech. She gets to go to Indianapolis this summer. I think it's the 3rd week in June, to participate at internationals. So she will be competing with people from all over the world that are also in high school that participate in HOSA too. So we would greatly appreciate your support on that trip. And if you have any questions, just reach out to either me or Ms. Jones, and we'd be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you.
Ms. Mitchell, before y'all walk off, as working in UMS healthcare field, y'all are doing a tremendous job. I have to go to HOSA every year as a judge and for other things in my professional life. And congratulations, like most of the people who come through my medical program, they have been a part of HOSA or some type of medical pathway. So as a leader who's been in this field for over 12 years, to see that, knowing that my students have just as good opportunities as these other students, I'm happy.
Exactly.
Thank you for all that you do.
This is my 18th year being a HOSA sponsor, and I love HOSA because it develops leadership skills in the students, and kind of gives them a little extra backing to believe in themselves that they can actually accomplish anything they set their mind out to. So it's a wonderful program. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
That concludes all the special presentations.
All right. All right, next item I've got on our agenda is our public comment. And I will say, we're going to open the floor for public comments. This is a designated time for community members to share their thoughts on matters before the board. We welcome and appreciate your input and ask that you speak respectfully and professionally. Please refrain from making statements about individual students or district staff members, as the board only considers such matters upon recommendation from the superintendent. Your comments will be recorded in the official minutes. While we value your perspectives, please note that the opinions shared during public comment do not necessarily reflect the views of the board, and your time limit will be 3 minutes. And first up, I've got Ms. Christian St. Clair. And the microphone is on.
Good evening. I won't take much of your time. I just have a single question, and I will email this question to each of you individually after the board meeting, so you have just time to sit on it. My only question is, what is the clearly defined operational system that this board believes produces student success? And where is that system documented so parents can understand it?
Okay, thank you very much. Next, I've got Ms. Camille Volmar.
Hello, thank you for letting me speak today. I just wanted to come up and say that I am just really happy to be a part of the progress that has been taking place in the district. I feel like there are a lot of good things that have happened this year. We've had some bad things, but I feel like the bad things have led to many good things and good changes that have been made. And I just want to thank the public and the community for accepting the coalition and working with us in, kind of having a little say in some changes and some upgrades. I would also like to call out to the community to continue to reach out to us about any issues that you might have, or anything that you think that can be improved within our coalition and how we operate.
You need to address the board.
Oh.
You're here to talk to us.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I've got Adrienne Nguyen. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
And you pronounced it correct.
Hello.
I'm Adrienne. My son went there briefly to Jacksonville High School. He is a troubled kid, and I would say the experience he had was not good. He did some things he shouldn't have done. I'm not gonna say that, he was perfect, but the way that the situations were handled, it wasn't handled the right way. He's currently expelled. His name is Jeremiah Brown, and the people who were supposed to make sure that he had like all of his assignments online, it's not. Matter of fact, his system has been completely disabled as of today. So he does none of the teachers, only 2 of his class work, I guess you say 2 of the, thank you. 2 of his courses are on there. He has like 7. So he's not able to complete his classwork. He's not able to do anything. It's like they just kind of just gave up. So it's like, it is what it is. He was being bad, or, not acting productively. So I feel like they don't care. And I just want that to be addressed. Like, I think it should be ways that to help versus just.
Yes, ma'am. You have your contact information.
I have all the contact. I have emails. I can give it to you all that I printed out that I sent to everyone, and nothing's happening.
Well, we'll have someone reach out and check on the status of those assignments, make sure you're all plugged in right there, but we'll have somebody contact.
Even he's like, as of right now, he's kicked out. We got the Chromebook too. Like,
Okay.
he can't see anything.
Well, we'll have somebody reach out to you. They'll be in contact.
Okay.
Talk to you about getting it set, make sure it's set up correctly.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, that's all I have signed up for public comment. Next, we have a legal update. I see Mr. Richardson is here with us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Even though it's a little bit hidden around the corner. So I have a litigation update, and then was asked a question about FOI responses. We have a case of the former principal who sued. It's an employment case working its way through the federal courts. We filed for summary judgment last week on it and expect to get a response probably next week, I think. I don't recall the exact deadline, but we'll keep you updated on that. I got word that the response to that FOI request had hit the papers, and I think the question was to discuss a little bit about responding to FOI requests and what gave rise to the response that was given. Over the last decade or so, the amount of information and documents that get generated in organizations has grown exponentially. This is true not just for school districts, but for all organizations. So all organizations are invested in document management. We see this a lot. I do in what we call electronic discovery and litigation, where you sue somebody and you send them a records request, and you say, well, give me all the emails related to this topic or this person. What you think is a fairly simple and straightforward request turns back thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of requests. The response that I was directed to in this one was a simple, it might be a simple sounding request for all correspondence, including emails, attachments, letters, messages, or other written communications exchanged between any employee, representative, or agent of the JNPSD and a specific email address. And then the district researched that and discovered it turned up almost 16,000 pages of electronic records responsive to that request. And required the review of 1,007 individual accounts from the district. So that's a substantial amount of records to parse through. Our General Assembly, recognizing that electronic records presented a little bit different problems, passed a law. It's Arkansas Code Annotated 2519-109 that governs requests for electronic information, which if you're requesting data from our email servers, that's a request for electronic information. And it allows a custodian, and typically the FOI doesn't require you to compile or pull together information. Somebody requests, give me these records. If they're there, you copy them, provide them, and that's it. With electronic information, particularly in the school context, it's a little bit different. You're basically dipping your cup in a well of information, and you have to sift through it to find what's responsive to the request. And then for a school, there's a number of exemptions that you have to honor. There's the personnel evaluation records, records that would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy, and then there's FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's a federal law that says basically parents are entitled to records on their students, but other people are not. And if you run afoul of FERPA, you can put at jeopardy your federal funding, which for school districts is significant. So we have to be very careful with that. So when you request records from, electronic records from a school district, the district has to put those together and then sort through them to prepare those records for production, so you redact the information that is not supposed to go out. And that's often why these requests get so large and they take so much time to deal with. One, even simple request can ping a large volume of records. A request like this that's unlimited as to person at the district pings lots and lots of different accounts. And then there's not an easy way to go through, or an automatic way to go through these records and limit out the information that is either not subject to disclosure or the district is prohibited from providing. So someone has to sit in front of a computer and go through the records, read them all, and then redact what is not supposed to be produced. So it's a substantial burden for the district. That's why the law allows, okay, you can charge a fee for having to do all that work to compile these electronic records. We are always open to, or at least I advise all my districts I work with, or public entities I work with, always open to, you provide that kind of initial response, look, here's the amount of records that this generated. You can ask a more focused question, and that will probably cut down on the number of records pinged and the amount of effort that has to go into compiling those records for you. And so often there's a back and forth with the requester of, okay, is this really what you want? Like, you're asking for emails from and to a single email address. You might have 1,000 pages of lunch menus in there that somebody still has to go through, and you don't know what it is until you open it up. So you still have to look through all that and see, okay, is that perp? Okay, well, it's another lunch menu, it's another lunch menu, it's another lunch, and it all takes time. Well, if we can agree to some search terms and things, we can narrow those down to what are the records that you're really wanting, and that can make it easier on everybody involved. So the estimate that you read about, that's how it came around. You know, a lot of these requests that seem simple on their face, when you go to implement them through IT, they turn out to be far more complicated than you think. So I hope that information is helpful. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer.
Questions? I mean, I remember reading that article, and there was they had an opinion of another attorney, and seemed to kind of discount some of the abilities for us to charge. Could you address those opinions that were expressed?
So if you're just grabbing documents, copying and producing them, you can only charge for the copies that you produce. There's a different law for compiling electronic information. So you don't have, this is not a situation where I can just go to a folder, or a person from JNPSD can go to a folder, make a copy of what's in that file folder, and then produce it. And generally, if they're small requests, most public entities will provide those for free. They don't count the copy costs. They send them along. For these huge record requests that take a lot of time to compile them, right? The district's storage for email is not some file folder where you can just go grab records from and produce them out. You still have to go through those and compile them compliant with the laws that don't allow us to produce certain records. So it takes time. And it's a pretty fact-intensive inquiry. There's a little bit of case law about it, but not a lot. So I could probably have a good discussion with that attorney and come to different opinions about what's allowed, but it just depends on the facts of the particular request.
Well, you're our attorney, so we're going to listen to you. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Any other questions? Anything else?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, next we've got the legislative audit FY25 report review. We've asked Kyle to come and brief us on that. I think we all received that in the mail.
Good evening, Board. I'm sure you've all got a copy of this in front of you. We completed our audit, I guess, end of January. So this is the report from that audit that is for the 24-25 school year. So to keep things brief, if you will turn to page 24. This is the summary of the auditor's results, and you will notice that they have no weaknesses identified whatsoever on that page. And if you will look at page 25, you will note that their findings are that there are no findings for this audit. So this is as clean an audit as a school district can have. The finance department is very proud of this audit. However, it is a much bigger, it involves many more people that are not necessarily in my finance office. You have secretaries, you have directors, you have administrators, you have Dr. Owa, you have central office personnel, all that have a hand in their piece of ensuring that we have a very clean audit. But this is as clean as it gets, so I'm proud as the finance director that we were able to do this, and I hope that you're proud as well. And this is the audit for the 24-25 school year. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions?
Great job.
Thank you.
As he takes his seat, Board, I'll just say Mr. Hunt doesn't give himself a lot of credit. He has looked at past audit reports and ensured that we had systems in place to make sure that those, even if they were supplemental findings, that we did not have those. And he constantly monitors our processes and systems throughout the year. And so there are not any surprises when the auditors come, that we've already addressed them and have corrected any issues that could possibly come up. So I definitely want to make sure he gets his credit, because it's a daily task for him to make sure we stay on task. So thank you, Mr. Hunt.
Very good. All right, next item I've got are district reports. Dr. Owen.
Yes, I know we've had a lot of reports, but I did want to highlight some things that we have in motion. You have a handout in front of you, Act 340, Arkansas Access Act. It deals with our concurrent credit programs. I'm proud of the work that Dr. Picard, Dr. Walker, our curriculum and instruction team, as well as Principal Mims and her team, has done over the past year in ensuring that our young people have opportunities and that they're prepared. So you'll see that in response to the Arkansas Access Act, access meaning acceleration, common sense, cost, eligibility, scholarships, and standardization Act, some thought that it only dealt with higher ed, but it also impacted K-12. And so I wanted to highlight the pilot program that we have, the Pulaski County Concurrent Enrollment Pilot Program. It launched to increase the number of Pulaski County high school students enrolling in concurrent credit programs. For this fall 25, this school year, 25-26 school year, the program was designed to accelerate the student skills and completion for higher ed and careers. And so that information and the additional information is in front of you. We have different ways that our young people can earn, receive college credit. Partnerships with local colleges such as the Pulaski Tech partnership, for culinary, ASUBB at Searcy, for welding, ASUBB, pre-engineering, and then UA Little Rock for core content, as well as the AP courses through College Board. At the bottom of the first page, you will see that our numbers for concurrent credit participation has increased over the last 3 years. Fall of 23, we had 46. Spring of this year, we had 85. And then fall of 26 for next year, all concurrent credit opportunities will be open for the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students completing a pathway. And so if they're enrolled in a college career pathway, they also have, not only do they have the opportunity to receive those certifications, but they have the opportunity to get concurrent credit, which now is weighed just like AP courses. And so definitely a lot of opportunities for our young people moving forward. The second sheet will show you what the plan is for 26-27 school year, the MOUs that are in progress with local colleges, ASUBB, drafting, automotive, patient care tech, healthcare information technology, ASU Searcy, welding, and actually we've entered a partnership where those courses will be offered at the Little Rock Air Force Base Educational Center, so our young people are not having to travel to Searcy any longer. And so they'll have welding here, in Jacksonville. Shorter College, we have a partnership for criminal justice. UA Little Rock, again, core content, banking, cybersecurity, Pulaski Tech, we will continue with culinary. Philander Smith is also exciting because now we have a MOU for an accelerated associate's degree, so our young people will be able to graduate with a high school diploma, but also if they participate in this program, they'll be able to complete their senior year with an associate's degree even before they move to the next level. And so we're proud of that partnership as well. And then, of course, you see the AP courses through the College Board that we will continue to provide our young people. So a lot more opportunities, but also making sure we prepare our young people for those opportunities. I'll answer any questions that you have if you have them this time. If not, that concludes my superintendent's report.
Do we have any PPC reports?
No, sir.
All right, next item I've got on is the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled off for discussion? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented in the packet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next item we've got is the 26-27 curriculum approval.
Yes, in front of you, board members, we would like to present the 26-27 curriculum approval. Per statute, the board would need to review and adopt the written curriculum for the upcoming school year, and so we have provided that for you. The cost is $72,000, well, close to $73,000, come out of textbooks, adoptions, operational funds. The recommendation is to approve the 26-27 science curriculum, resources, and adoption material.
All right. Got a recommendation from Dr. Owa to approve that. Any questions?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Very good. Next item we've got is student disciplinary actions, and I believe we have a couple of contested this evening. Yes, sir. All right. So the first one we have is for expulsion hearing for Jeremiah Brown, Jacksonville High School. Okay. So is Ms. Wynn, you're here this evening?
I am.
Okay. So this is an expulsion hearing for Jeremiah Brown. The law provides that the hearing will be held in open session unless requested by the student or parent to be closed. The hearing is open. Anyone, including the press, may be present. If the hearing is closed, only those who are involved in the conduct of this recommendation and hearing may be present. Do you desire the hearing to be open or closed to the public?
It can be open.
Okay, so come on down to the front. So your son is not expelled yet, from what you spoke earlier. This is the hearing to determine whether he's going to be expelled. If you come up to this front table.
Okay. From my understanding,
request. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation.
I'll second that.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Now that that's done, we're gonna make sure everything gets communicated to you and have access to that online portal. Please if you can't get access, please let us know. Okay? All right? All right, next I've got an expulsion hearing for Elijah Smith, Patience Adams. Law provides that the hearing will be held in open session or closed. Do you wish to be in open or closed? Open? Online, everything? You're okay with that? The whole world? He says closed. Closed. All right. All right, we're going to call us back into open session for the recommendation of expulsion of Elijah Smith. We have that recommendation to us by the superintendent. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to modify the superintendent's recommendation to return Elijah to ALE.
I'll second that.
All right, so we've got a motion and a second to basically not uphold the recommendation to put him back in ALE and with the stipulation that any other violations or any kind of outbursts, similar incidents would result in immediate recommendation for expulsion and you'd be back here and it would not go this way next time. Okay. Is that everybody good on that motion?
Yes.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Good luck, Elijah.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
I appreciate the hustle. I used to sell some blow pops back in the day. Okay, next item on our agenda is student hearings. We have some uncontested student discipline issues in your iPad, so take a second to review those, and then I would entertain a motion when y'all are ready. Six uncontested, is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second to uphold those recommendations. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next is personnel. Before we go on personnel, we've got a addendum before us. I would accept a motion to add this addendum to the personnel report.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's been added. And any discussion on personnel would be held in executive session, and I believe we need to go to executive session for brief discussion on employment. So we will move into executive session.
I mean, it was.
So we got that in the mail, and so I just told Ms. Lee that we would bring you all a copy.
Okay, but that has been brought up before. I brought that up last year. And it was.
All right, we're going to go ahead and call us back into open session. And we've got a recommendation for personnel to approve from the superintendent. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. All right, the election was in March, and we have 4 new board members. Congratulations. Or 4 old board members, 4 more years. So it's time for officer elections. So I'm going to start by nominating Ron McDaniel for president. Second. Do I hear a second? Got a motion and a second there. I'd also like to recommend Ms. Ava Coleman as vice president.
Second.
Motion, okay. And Mr. Jim Moore as secretary.
Second.
And I'd like to nominate Dina Tony as disbursement officer.
Second.
Are there any other nominations that wish to be made? If not, that's our 4 positions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Nobody's opposed. All right, congratulations. It's been my honor to serve as your president the last few years, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And Mr. Ron will do an outstanding job. Also, I put on the agenda board member comments. I'd like, as a standing item to be on the agenda moving forward, that gives each of us an opportunity to give attaboys or to address situations. And I think each of us received this note this evening regarding traffic patterns, parking spaces at the high school, and some handicap during stadium events. Yep. And the question I had is if Ms. Mims was aware of any of this yet. And I appreciate Ms. Talent for bringing this to our attention in this well-organized manner. So I would just say that to Ms. Talent that we will pass this on to Ms. Mims.
I received it when y'all received it.
Huh?
I received it tonight when y'all received it.
Okay. So if you'll address that, take a look at it, and anything we can do to make any improvements on some of these would be great, especially the handicap parking at the stadium events for sure. But moving forward, we've all got a chance to make comments every meeting. Want everybody to have, I think we do a good job of making sure everybody gets heard. So with that, does anybody want to make any comments before we adjourn? There's a game on.
I'll make some quick comments here before I do the adjournment. I just want to express appreciation to Mr. Gray for his service. He has done an outstanding job. Everybody knows that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a school district. I think I've said that many times. He's put out a tremendous amount of effort over the years to get us to this point, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'll be here at the next meeting. I'm just going to be sitting in your seat.
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, we're adjourned.
Dina's almost at the door.
Bye, Dina.